presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports. It's time for Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, Bank West, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, and American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency.
A fly ball to center field as Spencer Eason is over. For the first time in 2023, Rollates and Miles Doyle has thrown a 6-inning no-hitter.
And by Lamb Motors, Todd's Electric, Edward Jones Financial, CHS River Plains, Wagner Auto, Jaeger, Faith Lutheran Church, Leinbach Construction, and First Dakota National Bank.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Here's a line shot. That's to the left side. Bruce will round second. He's on his way to third. Hansen will see if he pulls up at second. He will. And Matt Hansen will have himself the cycle and an RBI double on top of it. An RBI double for Matt Hansen. He's 4 for 4.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Avera, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Shane's Pharmacy, Gales Gas, Oahe Federal Credit Union, May Adam, Fisher Rounds, and Ferding Electric.
The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Rollates. Post 8 gets a big 12-9 victory in Game 2 to earn a split over Post 22.
And by True Green Chemelon, Beck Motors, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, Kruger Contracting, AGE, Egtegra, and Stulkin Peterson. Now let's head to the booth for the call of the game with the voice of Post 8 award-winning KCCR Sports Director John Winkler.
And a good afternoon as we welcome you here to Hyatt Stadium as we are set for the home opener for the Post 8 taking on Renner Post 307 as the 8s will be looking for their first win against a very good Renner Post 307 Royals who are coming in at 6-1, having gotten into the championship game of the weekend tournament that they're in down in Yankton this past weekend, losing in the championship against a team that had beaten earlier in the tournament. So everybody that they've played so far, they've gotten at least a win against them and are 6-1 so far in the season. 2-0 in South Dakota games instead of the 3-0 that you would normally see in the schedule. We'll talk about that later on for the Renner Post 307. But this is a team that's going to be playing here today and then also going to Post 320 tomorrow. Post 8 will be going to Mandan tomorrow. So these games are important for both these teams, obviously being South Dakota games, but for Pierre, they can go a little bit more all out in these two games to try and get the 2 wins, where Post 320, they don't want to necessarily say we'll play for tomorrow and try and beat Post 320, but for Renner, they want to try and get wins over Pierre, but they also in the back of their mind have to make sure that they save enough pitching for tomorrow against Post 320, where on the other side for Pierre, you would love to get 4 wins over the next 2 days, but these 2 wins, these 2 games are the most important of the 4 that you're playing, where Renner will have all 4 of their games be very important for them over the next 2 days. We've got starting lineups coming up here in just a moment. We will step aside for 3 minutes. We'll come back and tell you starting lineups getting set for first pitch here at beautiful Hyatt Stadium on a Tuesday evening, rolling into a Tuesday evening. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Comtech, your local technology solutions provider, is now located on the truck bypass. With great brands like Bose, Sonos, LG, Samsung, Lenovo, and so much more. Stop in to see their new showroom for everything in stock for your personal or business needs. Comtech provides professional installation and service after the sale. Comtech is your local technology store, located now on the truck bypass, or visit us on the web at comtechplus.com.
As community bankers, Bank West employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose Bank West. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
We welcome you back here to Hyatt Stadium as we are getting set for a first pitch between Pierre and Renner, as the Eights will be playing their first home game of the season and their third and fourth game overall of the season, while Renner is coming in at 6-1. We will have starting lineups coming up here in just a moment. They are wrapping up introducing the starting lineups. They're about to do the national anthem as well. So we will step aside for another 3 minutes and come back and have for you the starting lineups and first pitch. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com. Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag chemical and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag chemical and seed needs. Kyle 605-280-8710 or Tony 605-280-4771.
We welcome you back. We are sent for first pitch between Pierre and Renner, as it is going to be on the mound. Cooper Twilliger. We got to go through the starting lineups with Blake Dean joining me here in the broadcast booth here at Hyatt Stadium. Starting lineups first for the Renner Royals coming to the plate. Charlie Huners leading off. He's a shortstop. Kyle Konechny will be the center fielder batting second. Sullivan Schlimgen will bat third. He's the catcher. Hunter Denmore, the right fielder, will bat fourth. Zachary Dunham, the first baseman, batting fifth. Brogan Moffitt, the third baseman, will bat sixth. Brody Jacobson playing second. He'll bat seventh. Jake Wheeler, the DH, batting eighth. And Rylan Arbogast will round out the lineup. He's in left field. Braylon Bear is on the mound for the Renner Royals here in game number one. For Post State, they got Cooper Twilliger on the mound. He will make his second start in 3 games. He pitched 80 pitches on Friday against Brookings. J.J. Buckles threw 1 pitch in that second game. So that way Cooper Twilliger can be available to throw today. Otherwise, he'd had the 4 days rest. If he threw 1 more pitch, he'd have had 4 days rest, regardless that the at-bat had not finished yet. He would have had 4 days rest, so he is back on the mound to throw game number 1. Miles Doyle, the only guy unavailable for Post State on the mound for this doubleheader, as we are set, and first pitch will come in and be high for ball 1 at 4:56 here this afternoon. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean. And Blake, it's good to have you. Good to be back at Hyatt Stadium for another season now of post-state baseball. Another go from spring to summer, as the 1-0 pitch will be over for a strike, and the count's 1-1 to Huners.
Yeah, this is how I grew up, watching baseball in this town, was post-state Legion baseball in the summers, because, the high school team really didn't start until I was about 10 years ago when I was a junior in high school. So, that program's relatively new in the grand scheme of things, but this is the baseball that really still means a lot to a lot of people in the state of South Dakota.
2-1 pitch to Huners, over for a strike, and the count is now 2-2. Charlie Huners is hitting .524 so far in the season, 11 for 21 with a home run, 6 runs driven in. This is a team that is unlike what Brookings was on Friday. Yes, they've played 7 games. Brookings had only played 4. There's a ground ball left side through the hole for a base hit, and that's what we're just about ready to talk about. This team is coming in hitting .396. Brookings was hitting under 200 through their first 4 games. Through the first 7 games, .396 batting average. Charlie Huners at .524. With guys that are at least having 15 at-bats. He's got the highest batting average of anybody, as Kyle Konechny will dig in. Up and down the lineup, this is a team that can hit, Blake.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a team that is comprised of both Sioux Falls O'Gorman, Bishop O'Gorman players, as Konechny squares to bunt but takes strike 1 at the letters. This is a team that's comprised of mainly Bishop O'Gorman players, as well as a few Sioux Falls Jefferson players as well. So both teams, that one who made the state tournament, one who came up just a little bit short, but both teams that definitely fielded competitive clubs. And one of them who had the player of the year in the spring in Hunter Denmore, and I remember being on the broadcast with you when they came here back in May, and just watching both Denmore and the number 3 hitter in the lineup, and Sully Schlimgen, who we'll see next. Those 2 guys in particular were really, really hitting it well at that point in time, but all up and down the lineup for Renner, as the ball is thrown into center field by the catcher in Peterson. That'll allow Huners to take third base on the overthrow, as he attempted to steal second on that play. But this is a team that up and down the lineup, now that the calendar has flipped from spring to summer, the guys all 1 through 9 up and down the lineup are hitting the ball really well, and like you said, are as a team approaching about 400 as far as batting average goes.
We got some time. There is something out there. Was it a ball that flew over from the boys and girls side of things? It is like a kickball that is thrown back across, like the beach ball that happens to fly in around Los Angeles every once in a while.
Yeah.
Usually there would be stands back there in LA that would have fans hitting beach balls that eventually fall their way into the crowd. But out here, you got the Boys and Girls Club that might have a ball got loose, bounced over. 1-2 pitch, that's over for strike 3. And there's the first down here in the top of the first. Kanechi will go down looking. And there's one down with a runner on third for Sully Schlimgen. And to Blake's point, too, the Hunter Denboer gets the player of the year. We were talking about it in the early part of May that this guy probably, we didn't see how the voting went and who was number 2, but I would guess that he was probably number 2 at Sully Schlimgen in player of the year. These two guys, just by stats and then watching them play, 2 of the best players in the state this year.
Yeah, and really, Denboer opens some eyes as Schlimgen rips a single in the left field through the third base shortstop hole that plates a run for the first run of the game for post 307. But Schlimgen, I think Denboer, like we talked about, who's now up to the plate, he's committed to go play at Dakota State next year, and he really opened some eyes this spring because he went on an absolute tear. And like we talked about, one player of the year in Class A, but Schlimgen, not only is he getting pretty high looks in baseball at the Division I level, but really on the football side as well at the Division I level too.
So now runner on first with 1 away. 1-0 lead here for Renner early on. They've got 2 hits so far. Runner takes off. The throw to second. The tag applied. They've got Schlimgen out stealing second as Getzel will apply or make that Miles Doyle applying the tag at second. And Nolan Peterson has thrown his 3rd runner out already this season in 3 games so far. So there's 2 down, nobody on, and a 1-0 count. I believe it was a ball that was taken to Hunter Denboer. But Cooper Twilliger will go back to the windup here as the 1-0 pitch will come in, and it'll be fouled away. And the count is even at a ball and a strike. Well, doing it to go around the horn defensively here real quick for Post State. Trevor Rounds is in left. Make that an 0-2 count. So both the first pitch was taken for a strike. So it is an 0-2 count. George Stalley out in center and Charlie Simpson in right. Grayson Hunsley at third. Dawson Getz at short. Miles Doyle at second. J.J. Buckles at first. So there's a soft liner. Miles Doyle will make the catch and retire the side here in the top of the first inning. But a run does score on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left on base. Make that 1 error as well. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, no one left on base. We have played in half an inning. 1-0 lead for Renner as we head to the bottom of the first. And the Eights will come to the plate. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Sometimes you get a piece of it and the ball sails over the fence. Other times, despite your best efforts, you strike out. I'm not just talking about the game, I mean your day. This is Pastor Sam of Faith Lutheran Church. Whether today feels like a home run or a strikeout, I encourage you to join us for worship. We celebrate when God gives us a wonderful day. We provide support and encouragement when that third strike comes. Come join us for encouraging and uplifting worship at Faith Lutheran Church.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
It is the bottom of the first and a 1-0 lead on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard for the Renner Royals as Braylon Barrett steps to the mound. And we'll talk about his numbers here in just a moment. We'll go through the batting order for Pierre Post State. Nolan Peterson will lead things off. He is catching here in game 1. Dawson Guess, the shortstop, batting second. Charlie Simpson, the right fielder, will bat third. George Stalley, the center fielder, batting fourth. J.J. Buckles, the first baseman, will bat fifth. Miles Doyle, the second baseman, batting sixth. Grayson Hunsley will bat third, or make that seventh, but he is the third baseman. Trevor Rounds, the eighth placer, playing left field, and the DH, Bridger Babcock, will round out the order for Post State here in game number 1. A team that had just 3 hits through 2 games, and Blake, for Braylon Bear, who gave up 3 hits in his only outing so far, an ERA sitting at 0, did not allow a run, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. Post 8 on Friday, there was nothing, maybe a play or two defensively that might have wanted to clean up, but overall, if Pierre hits the ball well or just a little bit better on Friday, they're 2-0 instead of 0-2, and they know it too. They know it coming into this game. They got to be better at the plate.
Yeah, just a big point of emphasis for the Eights right now, as Bear's first pitch to Peterson is cross plate for a strike. But I think Coach Iverson's point to the team coming into this doubleheader was, we got to score, put the bat on the ball, score runs, win a baseball game.
There's a ground ball to the second baseman. Jacobson will field. His throw to first is in time. The leadoff man retired to open up the bottom of the first. And for Braylon Bear, you've already seen it, how the velocity that he has, the speed that he can throw the baseball is going to be, guys got to get around quicker and got to be quick to the plates, quick on their swings to get around and get some barrels on the ball. Here's the first pitch to Dawson Getz. And then you can also drop in a curveball right down the middle for strike one, which will make sure you got to keep your hands back, too. You can't be going up there thinking you're going to swing before you see the pitch. The 0-1 pitch is outside, and that's now 1-1.
And this is a Renner Royal team, John, that, if you look up and down this lineup, they are one of the favorites, in my opinion, to make a run at the state tournament or at the state title, as Getz fouls one off to make it a 1-2 count, I believe. But, just up and down the lineup, you got so many athletes. We talked about Schlimgen and Denboer. Braylon Bear is a fantastic all-around athlete as well, and you've seen that with his velocity thus far, as that one just misses down low and away to make it a 2-2 count here to Getz.
And the big thing, too, for what Renner will have is the 2-2 pitch will be taken for strike 3, and Getz will go down looking, and there's 2 quickly down here in the bottom of the first. You are listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station, as it'll be Charlie Simpson that will come to the plate. But their pitching will allow them to go deep into a tournament. Obviously, you got to keep winning games, but they're going to have the arms to be able to do that, and that's going to be their biggest strength late in a tournament, as this is a ground ball back to the second baseman, Jacobson, who will field it. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Braylon Bear here in the bottom of the first. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. We head to the top of the second, 1-0 lead for Renner over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Why am I so sore? There are everyday moments.
What? Hey, hold the ladder! Hold the ladder!
Yeah, that hurt. And there are epic moments.
Slide! Call it! Class of 1995!
When a moment creates a health need, visit the experts at Avera Orthopedics. We're moving health forward so you can tell the story. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
Form, function, finesse. The all-new 2024 all-wheel drive Ford Escape is now on sale at Capital City Ford for $32,000 with up to $2,250 in rebates. If you're looking for adaptable interiors ready for your daily adventures, whether it's a trip to the grocery store, to a spontaneous road trip, and everywhere in between, Capital City Ford has you covered. Payments are as low as $385 with Ford Credit Flex by program. For more information and details, contact a sales professional at Capital City Ford. Check out their full vehicle lineup at CapitalCityFord.com. Capital City Ford in Pierre.
As we welcome you back here, it is the top of the second, 1-0 lead for Renner over the Pierre Post State. On American Family Insurance, Brittany Schuffelbein on scoreboard. Zach Dunham, Brogan Moffitt, and Brody Jacobson will be the first 3 hitters. And it'll be 5, 6, and 7. Cooper Twilliger, who gave up the leadoff into Huners, and RBI single to Schlimgen, had limited damage in that first inning, with the fact that he was able to get Nolan Peterson was able to throw out Sully Schlimgen trying to steal. But it will be Zach Dunham to lead things off. He is hitting .450 so far on the year, 9 for 20, 2 home runs, 7 runs driven in. They've got 7 home runs overall. And Blake, we kind of didn't get a chance to continue to talk about how good this team can be and how deep this team can be, because up and down the lineup, they're going to be a threat. Pitching-wise, they're going to have guys that are, Braylon Bear, who didn't throw this weekend, is now their starter today after playing 5 games over the weekend and getting second place in a tournament. There's a lot to like about, or maybe dislike about, what Renner brings, because you got to play against this Renner Royal team. But the first pitch miss to Zach Dunham. Here's the 1-0. That's coming upstairs, and the helmet flies off of Dunham, and the count's now 2-0.
Yeah, and with Dunham hitting 450 to start the year, John, it was a matter of time before he got going. Really didn't have necessarily the spring season that he wanted. I think numbers-wise, if you go back and look, he was actually their cleanup hitter to begin the year for O'Gorman, and Denboer replaced him in the lineup as that pitch is popped straight up in the air.
Huxley couldn't see it, and he'll back up to make the catch. I really thought that it was just going to fall harmlessly to the ground, but Huxley will make the catch, and the leadoff man retired. Oh, he deked me out.
Yeah, absolutely. Was an adventure on that pop fly for Huxley, but an out is an out regardless, and that is out number 1 here in the top of the second.
Brogan Moffitt will come to the plate, the third baseman here in game number 1.
But going back to finish up my thought on Dunham as Terwilliger's first pitch misses upstairs for ball 1. Just it was a matter of time before he got going. He was O'Gorman's cleanup hitter to begin the year, was replaced by Denboer, who had an absolute tear of a spring, but now he's hitting 450 and will be a dangerous threat when his bat comes around the lineup again second time around.
1-0 pitch just missing low, and the count's now 2-0 here to Moffitt with Brody Jacobson on deck. Moffitt so far as he comes in, he is looking to hit. He is hitting 500 as there's a swing and a miss, and it's now 2-1. Just 12 at-bats so far, but 6 hits in those 12 at-bats with 2 doubles and 6 runs driven in. 396 team batting average. Yeah, 7 games in, so it's still a smaller sample size, but that's probably an average that they're expecting to kind of be at throughout the entire season. And obviously in the last 5 games hitting 352 as well over that weekend tournament. They're a team that can hit around the 350 mark and higher throughout the season. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 3-2.
Yeah, when your OPS as a team is 1.171, I think something's going right.
Hopefully maybe Cooper Terwilliger can kind of settle their bats down a little bit, make them be a little more frustrated at the plate. Here's a 3-2 pitch. That'll be fouled back, and the count remains at 3-2. Pierre will play today and then back on the road tomorrow up to Mandan, one of the nicest ballparks between the two Dakotas. Mandan's got to be one of my favorite spots to go up to and watch a baseball game.
Really is a nice field. I enjoyed playing up there and going up there, watching my younger 2 brothers play up there over the course of the last 7-10 years or so.
3-2 pitch will miss inside to Moffitt. He wanted to offer at it, but held back, and it is the first walk issued by Terwilliger. And it'll be Brody Jacobson now with the runner on first and 1 away here at the top of the second.
Yeah, just a tough break there for Terwilliger. Was trying to go inside and nibble the corner, but just missed, and that allows base on balls to Moffitt.
First pitch, Jacobson climbs the ladder and will hit it into left field for a base hit. Third hit through the hole on the left side for the Renner Royals. All 3 of their hits coming through the left side. And it's first and second with 1 away, and it brings up now Jake Wheeler. I'll just mention, too, that Jacobson had just had 4 at-bats and 6 plate appearances coming in, and swings to the first pitch and gets that base hit to put a runner into scoring position here in the top of the second.
And that's something that a lot of good teams, especially good hitting teams, do is, they don't wait around. If the first pitch is there and they like it, they're gonna rip at it, and that's exactly what Jacobson did there. Moved the runner in front of him in Moffitt up to second base. Royals playing station-to-station baseball here in the top of the second.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is upstairs, off the glove of Peterson, but not far enough to advance Moffitt over at second. And the count's now 2-0 here to Jake Wheeler. He is hitting .222 so far, just 2 for 9, with both of his hits being doubles and 4 runs driven in, along with those 2 hits of 2 extra base hits. 2-0. That one's ripped down the line, but that will stay foul, and the count is now at 2 balls and a strike. Renner is 6-1 in the season. They're 2-0 in South Dakota games. However, they have played 3 South Dakota opponents. They shut out Yankton in the semifinals 1-0, but because it is a non-scheduled game going into the weekend, any semifinals or even the Dakota Classic, you get to a quarterfinal game, those games don't count. It's only the pool play games that you know that you have on your schedule that will count. So they're technically 2-0, even though they are, I guess, technically 3-0, but overall just 2-0 as Wheeler swings and misses, and the count's now 2-2. With the sweep of Sioux Falls West, they're only technical 2 South Dakota games that they have played. But still, in those 7 games so far, in 5 of those 6 wins, they have gotten 1 run or less against, as there's a swing and miss by Wheeler, and there's a strikeout, and 2 down here in the top of the second, and it brings up the number 9 man in Rylan Arbogast.
That's a good job there by Terwilliger, mixing up his looks. Paused a little bit longer, kind of threw off the timing of Wheeler there, and really kept the runners at bay, both at first and second. Got the strikeout for out number 2. And that brings up Rylan Arbogast, who only has 6 plate appearances on the year, and 3 total at-bats, but he's got 2 hits, and he hasn't walked. So I'm not sure how he has 6 plate appearances, but
he's been hit a lot.
Maybe he's been hit 3 times. I don't know.
It could have a sacrifice in there as well. But the count is 1-0 here to Rylan Arbogast. The lefty looks in, Terwilliger with a ground ball. Now the left side, will field. Quick throw to second. They got him out at second by just a step. And that will retire the side. Gets win the short way and almost turned into the tough way. And it was the tough way, but it is a 6-4 ground out to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. After an inning and a half, 1-0 lead for Renner over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
4, 5, and 6 here due up for Post 8s as they are down 1-0 in the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. George Stalley, J.J. Buckles, Miles Doyle, the first 3 hitters, as the 8s will be looking for their first base runner. And just 3 hits so far on the season for Post 8s. Nolan Peterson, Grayson Huntley, Trevor Rounds, all 3 of those guys in the lineup in Game 1, but the only 3 guys that recorded a base hit in the 2 losses on Friday against the Brookings Bandits. First pitch from Baird to Stalley will, I think, be taken for a strike.
Yeah, there wasn't a signal or anything from the home plate umpire.
But I think I heard him say that heard him say strike. But it looked like it should have been a strike at least, although the catcher in Schlimgen, who maybe got crossed up on the signals, didn't make the catch. But the count, we believe, is 0-1. The 1 pitch is upstairs. And the count is now in a ball and a strike to George Stalley, looking for his first hits of the season. He did draw 2 walks on Friday. That one will catch the bottom of the zone, and the count is now at 1-2 to Stalley. I wouldn't say it's going to be, obviously there's some different guys from the spring to the summer team. As the 1-2 pitch, a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Stalley, and there's 1 down here in the bottom of the second. And it will bring up J.J. Buckles, first baseman. But going into the spring season, we kind of felt like for the Governors, it was going to be, we're not going to be worried so much about their bats. We're going to be worried about if they're going to throw strikes, if they can consistently get guys out. And then as the season went on, it kind of turned into the other way around, where pitching-wise, we didn't really necessarily worry about them getting guys out. We were worried more about their bats if they're going to come along. Right now, through 2 games and 2 innings of at least pitching-wise, as Buckles is quickly down 0-2, the concern, I think, is right now is going to be guys are going to have to make sure that they get good at-bats and good plate appearances and get in the cage as much as they can, with a lot of these guys not having swung a whole lot over the springtime. Some of these guys not having swung a whole lot in the springtime, but these are important early season at-bats.
Oh, absolutely. And I think you're right on the money, because the way that Bear thus far, as Buckles fouls it off over our heads to continue the count at 1-2 here, to your point, he's pumping a lot of velo at the post-8 hitters, really kind of overpowering them, and then he has the ability to drop in an off-speed pitch, as that pitch just missed upstairs to make it a 2-2 count, as Stally was out front of that off-speed pitch to strike out for the first out. And I think he threw it one more time to Buckles for strike number 1, as that pitch catches the inside corner for strike number 3 to make it 2 outs here in the bottom of the second.
Third strikeout already here for Braylon Bear, and there's 2 down here in the bottom of the second for Miles Doyle, who had an excellent game on the mound on Friday. 13 strikeouts, had just 2 walks, and both of those 2 walks came at the very end of his outing. 3 hits overall. When you go 6 2/3 of shutout baseball, a lot of times you feel like you left your spot and you're going to go win a baseball game. But unfortunately for Miles Doyle, somewhat fortunately as well, he got a no decision in it. But unfortunately for him, they didn't get a win, as he was 1 pitch away, 1 out away from having 7 complete shutout innings before he had to be taken out. As he'll line that one right back to the mound. The catch will be made by Bear, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for Braylon Bear. We get to the top of the third. No score between Renner and Pierre. We'll keep it here. Actually, we'll head to a break. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place, because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
The lawyers at the May Adam Law Firm in Pierre know how important your families are to you. If you've been putting off getting your affairs in order, know that the May Adam Law Firm is available to counsel you through your questions and help you get the documents in place so that you've made your loved ones secure. Call them at 224-8803 and they can chat with you about how to document your concerns and care for your family. We're all in this together, and the May Adam Law Firm is ready and able to help.
Top of the third, it is a 1-0 lead for the Renner Royals and American Family Insurance, the Brittany Schoffelbein scoreboard, and it's the top of the order for the Renner Royals. Charlie Huners, Kyle Konechny, and Sully Schlimgen, with Braylon Bear with 6 up and 6 down. 2 perfect innings to start the bottom of the second inning. I'm already starting the little bit of a curse on the other side, the reverse jinx.
There you go.
Talking about 2 perfect innings for Braylon Bear. Here is the first pitch to Charlie Huners from Cooper Twilliger to lead off the top of the third, taken for strike 1.
Keep saying it as many times as you can.
Huners is 1 for 1. He's singled. Are you talking about Braylon Bear having a perfect game? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll keep talking about that perfect game that's going on. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That was upstairs, and the count's now 1-1. Remember last spring when Lincoln Keenels threw a no-hitter? I hadn't even mentioned it, and I thought if Lincoln Keenels did not finish that no-hitter that Blake Dean was going to throw my headset out the window, throw all the equipment out the window.
Because you talked about it in like the 5th, I thought, didn't you?
I talked about it pretty. I didn't talk about it super early, but kind of early. Probably was the 5th inning that I didn't mention it. 2-1 pitch is over for a strike. The count's now 2-2. That's the only time that I've ever been really afraid of you.
I'm not that scary, I feel like.
The look that you gave me when I look that I did not want to see from Blake Dean. There's a hit by a pitch of Charlie Huners. He is on to lead off the top of the first, sitting on a 2-2 curveball. And it will bring up Kyle Konechny, who struck out looking in his first at-bat.
And the funny thing was, to kind of tie a bow on that story, I went down to grab some food at the concession stand between games during that doubleheader in the spring of last year, and Lincoln was in front of me, in line, and he turned back and saw me. Really didn't even acknowledge the fact that he had a no-hitter. He just asked me, how many pitches did I throw? That's all he cared about.
He was trying to see if maybe he could come back and throw 3 days later instead of having 4 days rest. Here's the first pitch from Terwilliger to Konechny over for a strike, and that was the first of 2 no-hitters thrown by pure baseball guys in the 2023 calendar year, because Miles Doyle threw a 6-inning no-hitter later in the summer at the Dakota Classic. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll miss low and outside. That was a day of no-hitters, because then Pierre turned around after that and got no-hit by Brandon Valley immediately after no-hitting the team from Nebraska in that first game, or the Minnesota team, excuse me, which ended up getting to call 3 different no-hitters, but 2 of the 3 were a lot better to call than the third one. That one's fouled away by Konechny, and the count's now 1-2.
Basically what you're saying is anything can happen at the Dakota Classic.
Anything can happen at the Dakota Classic. Pierre will be at the Harrisburg pool at the Dakota Classic here, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, as they will play Harrisburg on Saturday. Here's the 1-2. There's a fly ball to center field. George Staley going back on it. That's over his head. It hits the base of the wall out in center field. And the second will go Konechny. And a really good job by George Staley to get that in as quick as he did to keep Huners at third, as that one was smoked on a line out, hit the bottom of the fence out in center.
Yeah, Konechny, to your point, he has 1 homer, 2 triples, now 3 doubles on the year, 11 RBI, of team lead in RBI. So one of the kids coming into this doubleheader that you really want to watch out for, and there's a reason why he's hitting second, is that one was off the base of the wall. But to your point, excellent job by George Staley relaying it in, keeping the runner at third base.
First pitch is over for strike 1 to Sully Schlimgen, who singled home the game's only run so far. 1-0 lead for Renner here in the top of the third, but they are threatening second and third with nobody out. And 3, 4, and 5 for this Renner Royal team that is the dangerous part of an already dangerous full 9 lineup. That one will just miss high and a little bit outside. The count's now 1-1.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I got a longer point to make.
Oh, okay. I was just going to point to the fact that Sully Schlimgen this season, in coming into this game in 12 at-bats, as he rips one into the gap in left center over the head of Staley. That's going to one-hop the wall, drive in 2. And we'll see if Schlimgen tries for 3. He does not. He will hold up at second with a 2 RBI double. But coming into the game, his slash line was 500 average, 625 on base, 833 slug, and that has only increased during his 2 plate appearances here. So, yeah, and then of course you add that onto his spring numbers, and the kid is, for my money, probably the best player in the state of South Dakota, and you just saw why there as he ripped one into the power alley that one-hopped the wall.
He's 2 for 2, single, double, and 3 runs driven in, and Renner has a 3-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. Still nobody out, and it's Hunter Denborp. First pitch swing in, he'll swing and miss for strike 1. So I guess now the cycle watch a little bit on for.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, he's
Keep
halfway
saying that
there.
out loud.
Right? Yeah, he's halfway there. The single and double of the 4 hits, those are the 2 easiest to get, and I say easiest because triple and a home run are that much harder. Not that any hit is an easy hit to get, but the count's 1-1 here to Denborp. That's one where you wait until he gets the third leg to actually mention that he has a chance for the cycle. If he's got a homer and triple, it's a little bit of a different story. 1-1 pitch, that'll miss low, and the count's now 2-1. I was going to make the point, too, that we probably got the 2 youngest head coaches in the States, River Iverson and now Isaac Struck, the head coach for Renner. Coach Greco and Coach White, the last head coaches for the last 2 teams, these teams the last couple of years. And this one's fouled. I had a home run distance there from Denborp, but it is foul. And the count's now 2-2. They both stepped away after the end of last season, and Coach Iverson, who was the assistant coach last year, steps into that head coaching role, and Isaac Struck steps into the role for the head coach for the Renner Royals. And so a couple of guys that start to make me feel kind of old to talk about how young these two guys are as the head coach. It's not supposed to happen quite yet, but then, of course, you're younger than me, too. But I have a lot less hair anyway than most people my age.
Just keep digging that hole, Johnny.
Here's the 2-2 pitch from Terwilliger to Denmore. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 3-2. On deck is the number 5 hitter in Zach Dunham. And the first 3 have already reached base. 2 have already scored here in the top of the 3rd inning, and a 3-0 lead for the Renner Royals.
And a runner in scoring position for the player of the year in the spring season.
3-2 pitch is missing outside, and it is a walk in first and second here with nobody out in the top of the 3rd inning. And it will bring up Zach Dunham. But also for these 2 head coaches, 2 pretty good players in their own right back in the day.
Absolutely.
And I say back in the day, not too far back in the day, but 2 guys that I think a lot of these kids growing up, if they came and watched Pierre Post 8 or Renner, or in general just watch high school baseball and Legion baseball, they got to see, they see why they're head coaches. They can back up the talk that they have, even though they might be young, and they can talk the back up their talk with how well they played.
Absolutely.
Runner takes off for third. The throw to third is caught by Hunsley as he had to stab at it, but a stolen base for Sully Schlimgen, who was thrown out in the first inning trying to steal second. This time he will steal third, and it's first and third as Denboard did not get the memo that a runner was taken off from second to third. So it's a 2-0 count, and runners at the corners here with nobody on the top of the 3rd inning.
And very rarely, John, do you see starting catcher for many teams swipe or look to swipe bases. Sully Schlimgen might be the exception.
Runner takes off. There's a fake throw. It was taken for a strike, and it is now second and third here with nobody out. So back to having 2 guys in scoring position here with nobody out in this 3rd inning. A little bit of a danger spot here for Pierre. Down 3-0. Nobody out here at the top of the 3rd, and still a good part of the order here for Renner. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 3-1 here to Dunham. Rogan Moffitt, Brody Jacobson, Jake Wheeler, Rylan Arbogast. The last 4 hitters in the order, they're all due up, with Moffitt due up next.
And Dunham is the team leader in homers so far on the year with 2. Everybody else that has a homer has 1.
This will be flown foul out of play, and that one was over the last car that is parked, hit on top of what that little bridge is right there going over to Capitol Lake. That one had home run distance if it was straightened out, and the count's now 3-2. But all it is just one loud strike. 3-2 pitch. That one has gone the other way, out towards right field. Backing up, Charlie Simpson. He'll make the catch. Both runners will tag, and both will advance. It will score the 4th run, an RBI sac fly for Zach Dunham, and a runner on third with 1 away here in the top of the 3rd inning.
Yeah, just a good piece of hitting there from Dunham on the full count pitch. Saw that it was up and away, did his job, put the bat on the ball. High fly ball to the right fielder in Simpson, who makes the catch. Both runners advance, and we've got a 4-0 lead for Post 307.
Still runner on third here with 1 away. Rogan Moffitt, who walked in his first trip, will take ball 1 upstairs. In Post 8, only Miles Doyle unavailable to pitch for this doubleheader. He'll be available to throw tomorrow, and that'll miss low, and the count's now 2-0. They take on Mandan tomorrow, then they won't play again until the following Monday against Rapid City Post 320. So they will, anybody obviously that is unavailable to pitch tomorrow, from today will not pitch tomorrow, but everybody can go as long as they want or need to, with the fact that regardless of how many pitches you throw, you'll be available the next time that Pierre will play, which will be next Monday against Post 320 on the road. The count's 2-1 here to Brogan Moffitt. And obviously these are 2 in the level of importance of getting wins, these are two important games to pick up, being South Dakota games. Tomorrow's games against Mandan, not that they don't mean anything, but they won't mean anything in the standings. Those are your chances to really just get better as a baseball squad and not worry about the wins and losses so much. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Moffitt. That was a curveball taken for strike 3, and the third strikeout now for Terwilliger. And there's 2 away here in the top of the third, and we'll bring up the second baseman and Brody Jacobson.
That was a good job by by Terwilliger, dropping the curveball in for strike 3 to strike out Moffitt, looking for out number 2.
Jacobson singled in his first trip to the plate. He swings and misses the curveball, looking maybe a fastball first pitch, and waves and misses at that first pitch. 0-1 the count. Trying to keep this third inning to a minimum of damage. 3 runs so far in the inning. Runner on at third with 2 away. That one will be upstairs, and the count's now 1-1. Leadoff hit by pitch, back-to-back doubles, driving in the 2 runs and a sac fly. Have allowed those 3 runs to score, but also a walk with Denbour now at third. The 4th run still waiting out to try and score. Fastball blew it by him, and the count's now 1-2.
This would be a big out here for Terwilliger if he's able to strand that run at third base.
1-2 count. 2 outs here in the top of the third. The pitch by Terwilliger. Ground ball to Hunsley over at third, but it took a high hop and bounced over his head. And it's a 2-out RBI single for Brody Jacobson, and it's a 5-0 lead. Ball doesn't take as high of a hop as it does. It's an easy ground out. It's a charity hop to Grayson Hunsley, but instead it ends up being a base hit and a 5-0 lead now here with 2 outs in the top of the third inning. And it brings up Jake Wheeler.
Yeah, just over the head of Hunsley, who hopped up for it, tried to snab it with his glove, but just out of the reach of a leaping Hunsley into left field. Run scores 5-0 Royals.
So here's Wheeler, who struck out swinging back in the top of the second. 8th man to come to the plates here in the top of the third. That one's over for a strike. He tried to watch that curveball stay upstairs, but it didn't drop in for a strike, and the count's now 0-2. Looking for a 4th strikeout here is Terwilliger. Put an end to this top of the third inning. The 0-2. Runner takes off. Swing and a miss. Doesn't matter. Swinging strikeout of Wheeler. And he retires his side. 4-run score in the inning. With 2 hits, make that 3 hits. No errors and 1 man left on base. After 2.5, a 5-0 lead for Renner over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
The lawyers at the May Adam Law Firm in Pierre know how important your families are to you. If you've been putting off getting your affairs in order, know that the May Adam Law Firm is available to counsel you through your questions and help you get the documents in place so that you've made your loved ones secure. Call them at 224-8803 and they can chat with you about how to document your concerns and care for your family. We're all in this together, and the May Adam Law Firm is ready and able to help.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
It is the bottom of the third, and a 5-0 lead for Renner over Post 8 on the American Family Insurance and Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. Grayson Hunsley, Trevor Rounds, Bridger Babcock, 7, 8, 9 here for Post 8. Hunsley and Rounds each with a hit on Friday, and Bridger Babcock, who did not record a hit but had a couple of swings that probably ends up being a hit later on in the season. And the way that those games were going on Friday, he got robbed of a couple of base hits. There's a ground ball to the left side of the first pitch, fielded by the third baseman Moffitt, and 1 pitch and 1 out to open up the bottom of the third inning. And we'll bring up Trevor Rounds.
But that was a good job there by Hunsley of hopping on that first pitch from Barrett because it was in the zone, just happened to roll over on it on that one and grounded out to third for the first out.
So Rounds, both Rounds and Hunsley, their base hits were infield singles on the left side of the infield with Peterson's only hit going up the middle, just like this one goes up the middle, and Rounds has got the first hit, and it'll be the first base runner here for Post States.
No more perfect game.
And my apologies to Braylon Bear for being the reason why that he no longer has a perfect game. As Bridger Babcock will come to the plate, the lefty in the lineup, he got robbed of a base hit by the left fielder in game 2 in his first at bats. Make that in game 1 for Bridger Babcock, got robbed, and then he had a line drive that was caught by the third baseman also in that first game. So he had probably the best at bats overall, that in different games you end up getting better luck and those balls fall either over the head of the third baseman or fall in front of the left fielder. 0-1 pitch, that one's grounded foul over to Coach Iverson, who wisely put his hands back up. He did not need to try and barehand that hard ground ball from Bridger Babcock. He might have even got a piece. Well, no, he's got seeds in his hands, so you got to protect the seeds. You don't need to try and field the ground ball with seeds in your hand. Here's the 0-2 from Barrett down to Babcock. After a long pause, delivers. Babcock will foul it out of play on the left side and will stay alive. That one was going right to maybe a fan that was starting to walk in and hit the edge of the concrete and bounced far away from him.
Long walk down the hill for him.
That one's tough. I mean, it might have bounced over your head and he had to go across the street too, but that it lands just in the grass, it's probably just fine. But it took the worst hop away from him. Here's the 0-2 again from Bear. Instead of pickoff move, they got Rounds picked off. Now in a pickle. The throw to second. The shortstop coming in from Huners, trying to race him all the way back, and they do make the tag to get him out. Rounds almost was able to dive back in safely at first, but he was picked off by Bear, and it ends up being 1-3-6 on the caught stealing, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Huners just must have got Rounds on the foot or something as he dove back to first, because it was a really close play at first as Rounds dove back.
0-2 pitch will miss inside. The count's now 1-2 here to Bridger Babcock, looking for his first hits as a member of Post 8 Senior Legion. Had a couple of walks back on Friday. That one will miss inside. The count's now 2-2. Reached on an error as well, did Babcock in that game on Friday. 2-2. Swing and a miss and a strikeout, and that retires the side here in the bottom of the third. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We head to the top of the fourth. It is a 5-0 lead for Renner over Pierre Post 8. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Ferding Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Ferding Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Ferding Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Ferding Electric, 224-8684.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
Back here, top of the fourth, 5-0 lead for Renner over Post States and the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard, as it will be 9-1-2. Rylan Arbogast, Charlie Huners, and Kyle Konechny Terwilliger, who has allowed 6 hits, 5 runs, and an error charge to Post State as well in that first inning. But overall, it's, this is a really good lineup and a team that is, I think Brookings is probably going to be a good squad at the end of the season. They're kind of struggling to hit the ball well right now, and I think Pierre will be a dangerous team at the end of the year as well. But I don't think there's anybody that probably will start as hot as what Renner is starting, and you hope if you see him again at some point, and hopefully even just in general the rest of this game and in game 2 they kind of cool off for a little bit. But I don't think anybody will have a hotter start than what Renner is, especially at the plate, of what they've been able to do through 3 innings here in this game, but in general through the first now 7 games of the year. As it counts 1-1 here to Arbogast.
Yeah, and really you can look up and down the lineup 1 through 9, and everybody on this Renner Royal squad is a threat to do some damage in some regard. Now, some more than others. Obviously, those guys are going to hit more towards the top of the lineup than the guys that aren't. But really, you put the 7, 8, 9 guys on this Renner Royal team on most any other team in the state, and they're going to be the ones hitting near the top of the lineup or the middle of the lineup. So, it's kind of a pick your poison when it comes to this team, and they're showing you why here through 3 complete innings so far.
Count it's 2-2 here to Ryland Arbogast, who is 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop Dawson Guess to end that first inning, or make that end that second inning when he went the short way to second. That one, Arbogast was fooled, but was able to fight it off and spoil the 2-2 pitch from Terwilliger, and the count remains at 2-2.
You think he ever steps in and takes BP against his older brother?
I mean, yeah. Since they got into high school, or once Reese got into high school, I'm not sure how much they did or he did, but it would be pretty good BP to take. There's a ground ball slowly up the line at first. The tag applied by Buckles. He'll make the play to retire Arbogast. 3 unassisted to lead off the top of the 4th inning. And it will bring up now Charlie Huners, who is 1 for 1, singled in the first and was hit by a pitch in the third. Would be pretty good BP. Well, maybe not so good BP. You'd feel pretty good once you start getting hits off of him.
Absolutely. For those of our listening audience that aren't aware, the last hitter, Ryland Arbogast, his older brother, Reese Arbogast, was a fantastic pitcher for the Renner Royals and is now pitching at South Dakota State.
Counts 0-1 here to Charlie Huners. Here is the 0-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 0-2. He was a thorn in the side for Post State.
Absolutely.
Especially the last couple of years. Renner, in general, kind of was a thorn in the side for Post State for a couple of seasons in a row. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one's grounded hard down the third base line, but foul.
And speaking of our alma maters in baseball, how about Southeast Missouri?
They got to the regional championship for the first time in program history
and beat the
Arkansas.
number 5 team in the country.
Beat Arkansas in that elimination game to get to the regional championship. I was hoping that they were going to at least beat Kansas State in that first game, because that was a 3-4 matchup of the region. Thought maybe they'd get that first win and force a Game 7 of the regional, but unable to. So still having the best ever finish to a SEMO baseball team in program history, out of a small Cape Girardeau, Missouri, trying to make a name for themselves. Hopefully that extends them to be even better teams, get more recruits to come in. 1-2 pitch taken for strike 3 of Charlie Huners. 2 down quickly here in the top of the 4th, and it'll bring up the number 2 hitter in Kyle Konechny, who is 1 for 2 with a double.
Success is always going to get people's name and program exposure, so that's a huge win, and just in general exposure for SEMO baseball to go that far.
First pitch will be outside for ball 1 to Kyle Konechny, number 2 hitter in the order. Cooper Terwilliger trying to get and limit this Renner lineup here in 3 hitters in this 4th inning. Here is the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball left side. Not going to get that 1-2-3 inning. Konechny's now 2 for 3 as that one gets through on the left side for a base hit. And it'll bring up Solly Schlimgen, who is already 2 for 2 with a single and a double, and he's driven in 3 of the 5 runs through 3 innings for the Renner Royals. So he's looking for a triple or home run in this at-bat, and Twilliger is saying, how about a strikeout instead? Or at least just in general, just a putout. First pitch is over for strike 1. And this ballpark is, especially if you get into right center field, is conducive, or right down the right field line, is conducive for triples.
Absolutely.
You talk about the power alley where he hit that, or where he hit that double in his at bat. If he hits in the right center field gap, that becomes a bigger challenge to get the ball in quickly to keep him at second, as it counts now 0-2, and he's got the challenge of trying to battle in an 0-2 count against Twilliger. Runner on first with 2 away here in the top of the 4th. Twilliger will come set. The 0-2, runner takes off upstairs for ball 1. The throw to second, just off the glove of Doyle. And Dawson Getzel will retrieve it out in center field, not allowing the runner to take third. A stolen base for Konechny. And a pitch to run on for Konechny almost turned into a great pitch for Peterson to try and throw him out. A little bit more on line. That probably is Konechny out at second base, because it was already Peterson having to stand up to make the catch on the high pitch. And the count's now 1-2 here to Schlimgen. Runner takes off again. The throw to third. They've got him tagged out without even a slide. And Konechny will finish out the inning. Another high pitch that Peterson threw a strike to third and got him by several steps. And the second time that Peterson has thrown out a runner. And at the end of the top of the 4th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 5-0 lead for Renner over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Motor Company, your local Chevrolet dealer in Pierre, would like to thank all our customers for their business. This year, we are celebrating an amazing 55 years in business. We appreciate each and every one of you. Our family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership is dedicated to providing our customers with top-notch service in every department. We offer a vast inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Chevrolet and Cadillac vehicles. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect vehicle that you will love for years to come. Check out our inventory at www.beck-motors.com. Beck Motor Company, Pierre.
If you're like a lot of South Dakotans, you've made a purchase online for services or products and have had no issues. Unfortunately, scammers view the internet as their playground, and they're constantly deploying new scams to attempt to take your hard-earned funds. Fraudulent websites have grown by leaps. Consumers and businesses need to check all aspects of a website before making any type of purchase. Questions regarding this scam should be directed to South Dakota Attorney General's Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986.
It is the bottom of the 4th inning. 5-0 lead for Renner over Pierre on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. And it will be for the 8th, the top of the order. Nolan Peterson, Dawson Getz, Charlie Simpson. 1 hit so far for post 8, but no runners left on base. The minimum has been faced for Braylon Bear through 3 innings. So I mentioned, talk about the perfect game, the no-hitter. Okay, well, now he's faced the minimum through 3. Maybe we can reverse jinx that way and get post 8 some extra base runners here in this bottom of the 4th inning.
Yeah, absolutely. And, really efficient thus far has been Braylon Bear thus far as well. Pitch count's got to be relatively low. I don't have the number officially in front of me right now, but he's done a good job of limiting the amount of pitches that he's thrown as he comes into this at bat here through 3 innings total, having only thrown 27 pitches.
So it is a good start to the ball game for Braylon Bear. And he will deal with the top of the order now. Nolan Peterson lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. First pitch will bounce in for ball 1. Peterson grounded out to the second baseman Jacobson to lead off the bottom of the 1st. 7 in a row retired before Rounds had the base hit to get post 8 in the hit column and on the base pass, but it was picked off between first and second. Here's a 1-1 now to Peterson. That will come in, almost hit him, and is now a 2-1 count. He is 1 for 8 on the season so far here for Peterson. He'll foul that one back, and the count's now 2-2.
But you saw just as well as anybody, John, when Peterson gets rolling, he's squaring up the ball, making contact, and putting it into the outfield. You know, we talked about it early in the spring season, you know, not necessarily going to give you a lot of power or a lot of slug, but when he's squaring up a baseball, he's a singles and doubles machine to the tune of, I think he was hitting well above 400 for most of the spring season.
There's a ground ball to the right side, backhanded by Jacobson. The throw to first is in time. Well struck ball by Peterson, but the play made by Jacobson. There's one down here in the bottom of the fourth, and it will bring up Dawson Getz. Yeah, Peterson finished a .391 batting average in the spring, but as you mentioned, too, up until probably the last 2 days of the season, he was hitting over 400. It was hitting over 400 heading into the playoffs, and still finished right around that 400 mark. As Dawson Getz will step in, struck out looking back in the first inning, swings and misses the off speed for strike one.
And I think for him, it's just a matter of time before he gets things going again, because he's too good a hitter to, you know, slump for a long period of time. He's kind of I kind of mentioned it in the spring season. He kind of reminds me of a Luis Arraez type.
Here's the 0-2 ground ball. That's a chopper up the middle. That takes a quick scoop, a quick hit over to the shortstop and Huners, who could not make the play effectively, and that one's going to be that's a tough. End up probably being an error charge to Huners. It's a tough play as it skipped across on him, but we may not give him the hometown touch of the hit, and it'll end up being an error charge to Huners, who's usually pretty sure-handed over at shortstop. Here's Charlie Simpson. First pitch swinging, pops it up foul. That'll get out of play, and the count's 0-1.
Yeah, just a tough break there for Huners. Took a weird hop, and it's kind of a borderline call. I mean, do you say that the weird hop would have caused Huners to make that play or not? And then on top of that, if he does make the play routinely, does Getz beat out a throw? But, you know, I think the fact that Huners didn't field the ball cleanly, regardless of the hop, kind of leads to an error on the play.
First error committed by the Renner Royals here this evening. Pitch to Simpson. That one's taken for strike three, and Simpson will go down on strikes, and there's now 2 down. And it'll bring up George Stalley. Stalley struck out swinging his first at bat. He's 0 for 1.
Yeah, it looked like Bear just dropped a curveball in on Simpson, and Simpson wasn't looking for it. Watched it go on the inner half into the glove of Sully Schlimgid for out number 2.
So here is Stalley. Waits the first pitch from Baird, and that was at the bottom of the zone and taken for a strike, and the count's 0-1. So Getz on it with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Post State down 5-0 here to the Renner Royals. Here's the 0-1 from Bear. There's a ground ball back up the middle. That's going to get through for a base hit. Getz will stop at second, and Post State's got first and second with 2 away. Second hit of the ball game for the Eights. And we'll see if J.J. Buckles can drive in the game's first run here for Pierre.
And with that hit, too, John, now Braylon Bear cannot face the minimum at all.
Yeah, even if he picks, because he still could have picked off Getz at first, but now he cannot. There's no possible way of facing the minimum through the rest of this game, or in this game. Here is J.J. Buckles, ground ball on the left side. It'll be fielded by the third baseman, and Moffitt. He'll race to the bag at third to tag it and retire the side here in the bottom of the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 men left on base. We head to the 5th. Renner leads 5-0 over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
AGE Corporation's Contractors and Crane Service is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Athletics. For almost 60 years, AGE has been building South Dakota. For all your site work construction and crane work needs this season, AGE is here to help. Give them a call. AGE Corporation and Crane Service, 223-2732. That's 223-2732. AGE, proud supporters of local sports.
Trevor Rounds will now come into the game to pitch as Cooper Twilliger will be removed after 4 innings. And we'll give you a full total on him here in just a moment. But Trevor Rounds is on for his first appearance of the summer. He is just the 4th pitcher being used in now the 3rd game of the season for Post State, with both Miles Doyle and Twilliger going as deep as they did in games 1 and 2, and J.J. Buckles going a full inning in game 1 and then a 1 pitch in game number 2. So this will be just the 4th pitcher used now heading into middle of our 3rd game, as he will face the middle of the order, 3, 4, and 5. Sully Schlimgen, Hunter Denboer, and Zach Dunham. That is the right into the fire for Trevor Rounds to come in the ball game. 4 innings pitched for Cooper Twilliger, 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He ended up with 1 man being hit by a pitch, and he threw 85 pitches, which the pitch total does not necessarily matter anymore, because the fact that by the time that, as long as if he stayed under a 1-day rest, he can come back and pitch tomorrow. Otherwise, the next game will be Monday. So he will have those 4 mandatory days of rest, but he would be available to pitch again against Post 320 coming up next Monday. But it's Sully Schlimgen that will lead things off. He was left stranded at the plate when Kyle Konechny was trying to steal 2nd to 3rd and was thrown out by Nolan Peterson, as the first pitch from Rounds will miss low for ball 1.
And to that point, John, we talked about it kind of in the middle of that inning. Kyle Konechny is an older player. I think he might even be a super senior. I don't remember exactly. He's for sure at least a senior, if not a super. But, one of the cardinal sins of baseball is to make either the 1st or the 3rd out of an inning at third base. And, Konechny did that there in that inning and really kind of took the bat out of and took an RBI opportunity away from Sully Schlimgen to end that top of the 4th.
4-pitch walk will be issued to Schlimgen to lead off the top of the 5th inning. And it'll be Hunter Denboer, then Zach Dunham. In the spring season for Trevor Rounds, he had 7 appearances. He did have a start through 8 1/3 innings in those 7 appearances. The ERA was inflated at 15.12 and it whip out 4.2, a batting average against it 472. But when Rounds threw well, he threw really well. He had, unfortunately, a couple of bad outings that really throws that ERA and that whip a lot higher than what you would like it to be through the 8 1/3 innings that he did have. But if he could throw strikes and limit the damage that he can bring on himself, that'll be a huge benefactor for Rounds having a strong summer. As the first pitch did miss for ball 1 to Hunter Denboer, who is 0 for 1, who drew a walk back in the top of the 3rd inning, and the count's now 2-0 here to Denboer.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, one of the outings where Rounds kind of got roughed up a little bit, as Peterson, since Rounds has thrown 6 straight balls, goes out to kind of have a chat with him on the mound. I think one of those outings was against the O'Gorman Knights, which the majority of these Renner Royals played for that O'Gorman Knight team. I believe, let me pull that up.
You are listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station, as we're just past 6 o'clock.
It was the first game of the doubleheader back on the 10th of May, where Rounds came in and faced, or got 2 outs after Jet Zabel threw 5 innings and got roughed up and had to be taken out before finishing an inning. So that was one of the rough outings for Rounds this year, was against the O'Gorman Knights.
The 2-1 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 3-1, so a chance for some retribution, but he is in danger of walking the first 2 guys that he faces here in the top of the 5th inning, of Schlimgen and Denboer, and with Zach Dunham, who is on deck for Renner. 3-1 pitch here from Rounds. Long pause and delivers. That'll be taken for ball 4, and it's back-to-back walks to kick off the top of the 5th inning.
But if you had to walk 2 guys in this order, those are the 2 guys you walk.
I would agree that, if you're going to give up 2 base runners in this inning, it's walks to these 2 guys and go get everybody else. And you're a ground ball away from putting yourself into a spot of having 2 outs. If you get a ground ball up the middle somewhere, Doyle and Getz can turn that over as Zach Dunham will step to the plate, see if they can get him into a ground ball situation. Didn't have a sacrifice fly and an RBI in his last plate appearance in the top of the 3rd. This will be fouled behind the press box, and the count's 0-1. It was a run the first inning, an RBI single from Sully Schlimgen. Then he drove in 2 runs in the top of the 3rd, along with the sacrifice fly from Dunham and an RBI single from Brody Jacobson to make it a 5-0 ball game. That is where we stand right now, with Post State having just 2 hits through 4 innings against Braylon Bear. Cooper Twilliger went 4 innings, giving up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, with 2 walks and 5 strikeouts to kind of recap and catch you back up if you're just joining us here at the top of the hour. Here's the 0-2 from Rounds to Dunham. That one taken for strike 3, and there's a big strikeout for Trevor Rounds. His first out here in the top of the 5th, and after the first 2 walks, he's now a ground ball from quickly getting out of this inning as Brogan Moffitt will come to the plate. He walked and struck out looking in his 2 trips here in game 1.
Good job there by Rounds, bouncing back after the 2 base on balls and striking out Dunham looking for out number 1.
First pitch here from Rounds to Moffitt. That'll skip in, and a good block there and a good scoop from Nolan Peterson behind the plate, and the count's 1-0. Beautiful day here at Hyde Stadium. Wind still, it's a rather windy day, not quite as South Dakota windy as other days are. That one will miss low, and the count's now 2-0. 76 degrees right now here at Hyde Stadium. Winds are gusting near 30 miles an hour out of the west-northwest and blowing out towards that left field foul pole here at historic Hyde Stadium. 2-0 pitch. Ground ball back up the middle. That's going to get through, though, for a base hit. They will round the runner at 3rd. The throw will come in and cut off by Buckles. No throw to the plate. An RBI single for Brogan Moffitt, and it's 6-0 here for the Renner Royals.
Yeah, just a good piece from Moffitt. Went back up the middle with it, and that scores Schlimgen from 2nd. Denboer on the throw. Good job of the cutoff by Buckles to keep Denboer at 2nd. So still only 1 runner in scoring position now for Jacobson here.
Brody Jacobson with an RBI single in his last at-bat. He's 2 for 2 so far with 2 singles. That one will bounce in, blocked up by Peterson. And the count is 1-0. 6-0 lead here for the Renner Royals on the American Family Insurance and Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. A run in the 1st, 4 in the 3rd, and now a run here in the 5th. Rounds will get the sign from Peterson. He'll come set in the 1-0 pitch. This will be popped foul. That'll get out of play, and the count is now at 1-1. Game 1 of 2 here this evening at Hyde Stadium. Post State will not be at home again until 2 weeks from tomorrow. I believe Spearfish is a team that will be in town for that next home game. Here's the 1-1. Could be Aberdeen as well. Here's a ground ball. This could be 2. As Getz will step in the bag at 2nd. The throw to 1st will be in time, and there is your 6-3 double play to get you out of the inning quickly. So it'll end up being 1 run scoring on 1 hit in the inning, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. 6-0 lead for Renner over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At AgTegra, we're leveraging the power of the cooperative to benefit our farmers and ranchers, their families, and local communities. We're creating jobs for your neighbors and putting money back into our communities. We're lending a hand in our rural fire departments, food banks, and 4-H and FFA programs. That's what local is all about. When you do business at AgTegra, you help us make a difference in your community. AgTegra, strong, stable, dependable, and local.
Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our number one priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre. It is the bottom of the fifth inning. A 6-0 lead here for the Renner Royals over Pierre Post States. John Wick there alongside Blake Dean. As it'll be 6, 7, and 8. Miles Doyle, Grayson Hunsley, and Trevor Rounds against Braylon Bear with just 2 hits so far. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Renner. No runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Post State. Big ground ball there, Blake, for Trevor Rounds to kind of limit the damage, obviously being 1, but also just give him a little bit of confidence. The first 2 guys walk, and as you mentioned too, if you're going to walk 2 guys back to back, probably those 2 guys were better than anybody else in the lineup. But to be able to get out of that with first 2 guys on base in the inning and still only allow 1 run, it's a good job by Rounds to get out of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, that's got to be a big confidence boost for Trevor Rounds. You know, the last time that he saw the majority of these guys in a batting lineup, as Doyle fouls it off to make it a 1-1 count here. Majority of the time that he saw these guys, the last time he saw these guys, you know, they were hitting the ball all over Hyde Stadium. So a good job by Rounds to bounce back and get a ground ball double play. And like you said, got to be a big confidence boost for him going into the top of the 6th inning, next inning, as the count is now 2-1 to Doyle.
He lined back to the pitcher and Bear in his first at bat. And there's a taken strike, and the count's now 2-2 here to Miles Doyle. Who went 0 for 2 last Friday, 0 for 3 so far on the season. 2-2 pitch, swings and misses, and will strike out. And there's 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. And then we'll bring up now Grayson Hunsley, who grounded out to his counterpart, the third baseman in Moffitt, in his first trip to the plate.
Hunsley now one of the 4 Post-State players this year with a base hit, and he had that back in Brookings.
First pitch, the ground ball that is just foul over on the right side.
Tried to speak another one into existence there. He does a good job of hopping on the first pitch, though.
A guy that, doesn't, like you said, doesn't really wait around that first pitch, especially how Bear is dealing. He's around the strike zone overall. That first pitch is probably going to be a good one. Here's a chopper off the plate. Going to be a tough play. Barehanded by the second baseman, and Jacobson will throw out Hunsley. What a play by Jacobson over at second. That is a highlight reel play, and it's a major league type play. That's a tough. He made it look very easy, but to barehand on a play like that, knowing that that's pretty much all he could do to make that play, and made it flawlessly.
Yeah, coming in on the high hop over the pitcher's mound. Pitchers in general are taught to not field their position unless they absolutely have to. So Bear didn't make a huge effort to go after that ball. But you're absolutely right. What a play by Brody Jacobson there. Bear handing the ball on the second hop and getting the out at first.
Slow roller, the third baseman, and Moffitt will step in front of the shortstop, and Huners will make the play. And 2 really good plays on ground balls by the Renner Royals to get a 1-2-3 inning for Bear. And he's got 5 shutout innings so far. A 6-0 lead for Renner over Post State after 5 innings. Back in a minute. You're listening to Pierre Post State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Brought to you by Limebach Construction Incorporated, who can build your recreational home or building along the beautiful lower Lake Oahe area. Whether if your hobby is hunting, fishing, travel, or water sports, we can come up with a building design that will fit your interests and expectations. We pride ourselves on using quality products, customer service, and open communication. Limebach Construction is locally owned and operated, serving the Missouri River community since 1994. For area of service and more information, contact Bill Limebach at 605-223-2738. That's 605-223-2738. Comtech, your local technology solutions provider, is now located on the truck bypass. With great brands like Bose, Sonos, LG, Samsung, Lenovo, and so much more. Stop in to see their new showroom for everything in stock for your personal or business needs. Comtech provides professional installation and service after the sale. Comtech is your local technology store, located now on the truck bypass, or visit us on the web at comtechplus.com. To the top of the sixth we go, as it is a 6-0 lead for the Renner Royals over Post 8. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean. Jen Brazilia's back at the station, as it is going to be 8-9-1. Jake Wheeler, Rylan Arbogast, and Charlie Huners to lead off the sixth inning. And failed to mention, too, that Sun and Shine is out in left field. Rounds, who was the left fielder, came in to pitch. Terwilliger's day was done, but Bridger Babcock, who was the DH, his first game is now done, as Sun and Shine will be the leadoff man in the bottom of the sixth inning in the number 9 spot in the batting order. As Jake Wheeler will dig in. He's 0 for 2 so far with 2 strikeouts. Here's the first pitch from Rounds. That one will be fouled back to the netting, and the count's 0-1. Like you had said with Rounds on that ground ball, he came up and kind of held his back leg, looking like he was holding the hamstring. He's back out pitching right now. Hopefully it was just maybe a little bit more of a scare than anything else, or maybe a small cramp that started for Rounds, but he seems to be okay right now on the mound.
Yeah, just on and maybe it was just that he stepped on the base awkwardly. It was hard to tell, but after he stepped on first, running out that ground ball that was out number 3 to end the bottom of the 5th, he really was kind of limping and seemed to be grabbing that hamstring.
Here's a line shot. Stallions will dive, but it skips off of his glove, and it will head past him over towards the right center field side, where Charlie Simpson will throw it in. Sally nearly made a diving catch to lead off the top of the 6th, but instead it turns into a leadoff double for Jake Wheeler. And there's a runner on second here with nobody out for Rylan Arbogast.
A good effort there by Stally. I thought he was going to make that play, but just out of the reach, and that allows Wheeler to stand on second base with a double to lead off this top of the 6th, and after Arbogast, the lineup turns over.
First pitch from Rounds to Arbogast. The lefty will take ball 1 as he grounded out in his 2 trips to the plate to the shortstop in Dawson Getz. And then he ground out to the first baseman and rolled over on it to J.J. Buckles back in the top of the 4th inning. There's the 1-0 from Rounds. That'll miss low and outside. The count's now 2-0. 6-0 lead for the Renner Royals here in the top of the 6th of Game 1 of our doubleheader.
This is a big at-bat right here because really, once the lineup card turns over, as Arbogast rips what will probably be a double into the alley in right center field, he's going to hold up at second, and Wheeler will score from second. They trade places, and Renner now has a 7-0 lead here in the top of the 6th, but was just going to say this is a big at-bat because the lineup turns over after Arbogast, and he does not get out, nor does Wheeler. Run scores, and that turns over the lineup card here to the top of the Royal Order in Charlie Huners.
He is 1 for 2 so far. Single to lead off the top of the 1st, hit by a pitch, and struck out looking. But now a 7-0 advantage for the Renner Royals with 7 runs on 10 hits. Here's the first pitch to Huners. That one's over for a strike. The first time that Arbogast has really put good metal on the swing. Nearly drove it out and out towards the fence, which could have easily been a triple, but Simpson was able to cut it off in time. Here's the 0-1. This will be flown out towards left field. Backing up is Sun and Shine. He'll turn and watch that one skip off the wall. Another run will come in to score as another double, the 3rd straight double of the inning to lead off the inning, and an 8-0 lead here for Renner as Huners drives in his first run. He's 2 for 3.
Yeah, that looked like if it got up a little bit higher into this wind that was blowing out to left field, that it might have been a home run for Huners, but just didn't get quite high enough, skips off the wall. And to your point, the 3rd straight double in this top of the 6th. And a crooked number on the board for the Royals here without an out on the board for the Eights.
We will get a mound visit from Coach Peyton Zabel, who has made his way back. The new Hall of Famer Peyton Zabel got inducted to the South Dakota High School Baseball Hall of Fame. He came back last weekend and was part of the Class B, was there for the Class B state tournament and was recognized, and then ended up pitching for Four Corners in the amateur baseball on Sunday, and now here to help coach with Post States and having a conversation and kind of slowing down a little bit what for Trevor Rounds, as the Texas State pitcher will head his way back to the dugout.
And Peyton coming back during the summers has been a huge asset to the Eights pitching staff. They've really benefited from his knowledge of being a dominant pitcher at the high school and the collegiate level, and really kind of someone to model your game after if you're a pitcher, whether it's in high school baseball ranks, as obviously he is now a Hall of Famer in high school ranks, or as a Legion pitcher, because he was phenomenal in both regards.
Counts 1-0 here to Cal Konechny. The 1-0 pitch, that will bounce in. Heading to third, the throw will go to third, but not sliding in, but still safe is Charlie Huners over at third base. And there's a runner on at third here with nobody out, and the count's 2-0 to Cal Konechny. A huge, as you said, a huge asset to this post-state program to be able to have him come back and coach as many summers as he has, as this will be fouled out of play. And whether he wants to or not, I'd say that anybody that would pass up on him being a pitching coach somewhere in college is got to have one of the best pitching coaches in the nation, because I think he would be phenomenal at that spot for however high or low in college it would be. As that one's over for a strike, the count's now 2-2 here to Cal Konechny. It's a guy that, he worked with the senior Legion guys all the way down to the lowest level of Legion baseball. Been able to work with a lot of pitchers and create the relationships with now guys that are here, as that one just misses outside to Konechny, and the count's now 3-2. When had to miss by less than an inch on that outside part of the plate. But the count's 3-2 here to Cal Konechny. Rounds trying to get the first out here in the sixth inning. This will be popped foul, so it'll probably land on top of the press box. It lands on top of in front of the press box, and the count's now 3-2. Little awning here at Hyde Stadium. 3-2 count. Trevor Rounds delivers to Konechny. Ground ball up the middle. That will score the run. Getz will field it behind the bag at second. His throw to first will be just in time to retire Konechny. That was a smooth play from Getz up the middle. It is a 9-0 lead, but there is nobody on with one out here in the top of the sixth.
And that's a big out there, as Getz made a really nice play on that baseball, because now the bases are empty for Sully Schlimgen, although, and not that Konechny is slow by any means. He's a pretty quick kid. He tried to steal two bases on essentially consecutive pitches back earlier in this ball game, but having a runner in front of Schlimgen is not a bad idea to keep him from doing what he wants on the base paths.
Here's a swing and a miss by Schlimgen. The count's now 1-1. Post State's got to keep this a 9-0 deficit going into the bottom of the sixth inning to ensure that they can hit again in the seventh. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. And if you're Renner, you're sitting there saying, we got to get one more run here to try and get ourselves a sixth-inning win instead of trying to have to go to a seventh inning. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Rounds to Schlimgen. That one is just missing outside. The count's now 2-2.
And Schlimgen on the last two swings has tried to swing like he wants to make this a 10-0 baseball game.
2-2 pitch. That one will come in and hit him. Trying to throw the fastball by him, and Schlimgen didn't really get him too much, but it obviously got him for a hit by a pitch, and he is on for the fourth time here in his 4 plate appearances. Going 2 for 2 with now a walk and hit by a pitch, and it will bring up Hunter Denbour. And I was just about ready to say, don't leave anything up to him because, you mentioned, too, the swings where he's looking to try and make it 10-0. Obviously, Rouse did not leave it up, but left it too far inside. And here's another guy you don't want to leave a fastball up to. That curveball will drop in for strike one. Here to Denbour, who is 0 for 1 so far. He softly lined out to Miles Doyle at second in the first inning, but then has walked in the third and fifth. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2.
If you can kind of mix your pitches, and that seems to be what Rounds is doing right now, and keep these Royals guessing a little bit, that might be the key, because that has not looked like a comfortable. That did not look like a comfortable swing by Denbour.
0-2 pitch, trying to sweep that through the zone and get Denbour to chase. Does not, and the count goes now 1-2. Runner on first and one out here in the top of the sixth, and a 9-0 lead for the Renner Royals. 1-2, that will get to the backstop, and the count will go to 2-2. Into second will go Schlimgen, and he is now in scoring position with one away to try and get Renner a 10-0 lead.
Yeah, Denbour doesn't have a hit today of the 11 hits that the Royals have. He's walked twice, and he has lined out to the second baseman, or popped out to the second baseman.
Here's the 2-2. That'll miss low, and the count's now 3-2. 3 doubles to start the inning. An RBI ground down and a hit by a pitch is where we stand here in the top of the sixth inning with 3 runs have already scored, and that fourth one in scoring position here for the Royals. 3-2 now from Rounds. That was a check swing that is going to be more of a bunt, picked up by Rounds. The throw to first is going to be wide of the bag at first base, and it will bring in the 10th run. It'll be an air charge to Rounds, and it's a 10-0 lead here for Renner, and Post State will have to at least score a run in the sixth inning. As it stands right now, we'll have to at least get one. And a swing that Denbour would like to have back, to the point, though, that he is on base and will probably take it because the run does come in to score. He doesn't get the RBI for it. But a defensive check swing that allowed him to, as the runner will take off for second, it'll get to the backstop, and 2 seconds will be Denbour as Dunham takes ball one.
Yeah, that took a pretty wild hop off the stone backstop there, and Peterson didn't necessarily expect it because that thing ricocheted right back at him and overshot him.
Will come inside, and the count's now 2-0 here to Dunham. Right now, no activity in the right field bullpen. This is for Trevor Rouse to try and get through and get out of this sixth inning. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That'll be high, and the count's now 3-0. On deck is Brogan Moffitt. He'd be the 8th man to come to the plate here in the top of the sixth. The 3-0. That one's over for a strike, and the count is now at 3 balls and a strike to Dunham, who has an RBI. He's 0 for 2 with a sac fly RBI. 3-1 pitch. Comes inside for ball 4. And it's first and second now here with one away.
Number 1, Brogan Moffitt.
And Brogan Moffitt, who had an RBI single back in the 5th. He's 1 for 2. Has another RBI opportunity here in this 6th inning.
Yeah, to your point, John, this has got to be an opportunity here for Rounds to just kind of work through some adversity here and get out of this top of the 6th here and give the 8s a chance to extend this baseball game.
And right now, Post State will need to score 1 run, but every run that scores adds on to what Pierre would need in the 6th inning to allow that game to get into the 7th, as the 0-1 will miss low, and the count's now even at a ball and a strike. And we'll see where Post State also wants to go game 2 and who the starter might be for game number 2. Obviously, Miles Doyle and Cooper Twilliger, and now Trevor Rounds will be unavailable to go in game number 2. And we'll still see what the Eights will have to come to the mound for that second game. And obviously, still got this first game to finish out. Here's a 2-1 pitch from Rounds to Moffitt. That's over for a strike, and the count's now 2-2.
Yeah, we'll see what Moffitt's looking for right here, because 2-2 count with runners on first and second. He's looking to put a ball in play to potentially extend this lead.
2-2 pitch, ground ball. Hunsley will step on the bag at third. His throw across is low, but it's scooped out by Buckles. Unable to. No, he does scoop it out. He dropped his sunglasses, but he was able to scoop it out for the third out. So it is a 5-3 double play that will get us out of the inning and send us to the bottom of the 6th. Post States will need at least a run, as 4 runs scored to make it 10-0 for Renner at the end of the 5.5. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com. 9-1-2 here in the bottom of the 6th. Post State needs at least a run to make sure that we can get to 7 innings. But Sun and Shine will lead things off, followed by Nolan Peterson and Dawson Getz. Sun and Shine will have his first at-bat. Bridger Babcock, who struck out swinging his first in his only plate appearance in the bottom of the 3rd, was taken out with Trevor Rounds going from left to the mound, and Sun and Shine went out and left, so the DH was taken out of the ball game for this first game, as Sun and Shine will swing at the first pitch, but grounded over to the third baseman Moffitt. His throw to first will be in time, and 1 pitch and 1 out to kick off the bottom of the 6th inning. And we swing back around to the top of the order, and Nolan Peterson, Dawson Getz trying to get something going here for the Eights here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Peterson 0 for 2, ground ball both times to the second baseman, and Jacobson, who has actually been pretty busy over at second base throughout this ball game. First pitch will miss low for ball 1.
But Jacobson shows you why you put his name in the lineup, because, man, has he been an asset defensively for this Renner Royal Ball Club.
Peterson will foul that one back, and the count is now at a ball and a strike here to Nolan Peterson. 0 for 2 here in game 1. Trying to get anything against Braylon Bear. 1-1 is at the top of the zone. The count is now 1-2. Then it'll be Dawson Getz needing one of these two guys to get on base. Charlie Simpson then to come to the plate. This will hit Nolan Peterson. They're going to check to see if he swung or not, and he did not swing. And the count is, or it will be hit by pitch to Peterson, and there is a runner on first with 1 out. And for Braylon Bear, he really thought that Peterson had swung in the bat, because he immediately was starting to point to the first base umpire and trying to say that he did swing, but Peterson clearly did not, and it did not hit the bat. It hit him. As now Dawson Getz will come to the plate. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1.
Well, and I think Bear thought, too, that it might have hit his hands, and then you get into the is the hand part of the bat discussion, and, you know, I'm glad that's not a decision that I have to make, because that's a rule that one of those gray areas in the rule book where things start to get a little dicey.
There is that vivid replay I remember before replay was a thing, Derek Jeter had got.
That's right.
He had gotten hits, and I use air quotes, so that one will get to the backstop, and Nolan Peterson will get to second. So Post State will have their second runner in scoring position now here in the ball game with one out in the bottom of the sixth. But they slowed it down, and obviously when you watched it live, it was hard to tell, and noise sometimes can tell you a different factor. But they slowed it down, and the ball hit the bottom of the knob of the bat, and it should have been a foul ball, and Jeter played it off like he got hit, and you could clearly see that the ball never actually hit his hand at all, and he got away with it. But that's in real time. That is really hard to see a ball hit a hand or hit a bat. This will be popped straight foul over the top of us, and the count remains at 2-2 to Dawson Getz.
Yeah, I remember watching that too. That was a play that, as a baseball fan growing up in the 2000s, that's a play that's burned into your memory.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 3-2. And that, and also the Alex Rodriguez slapping the glove to knock the ball free, and saying that was part of his running motion.
Oh yeah,
that was a good one too back in the day. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That one just missing outside for ball 4. Dawson Getz will draw the one-out walk, and it's first and seconds for Charlie Simpson. And the Eights have something going here with one out in the 6th inning. I think everybody except for Yankees fans would agree that there is no way that Alex Rodriguez did not do that on purpose. He definitely.
100%.
I think only Yankees fans would still maybe not anymore so much now, but back then would have said that he didn't do it on purpose.
Well, this coming from the same guy who, when he was also running the bases, yelled at a fielder that it was his ball to try to distract him, and the fielder thought, oh, okay, somebody else has got it, and then the ball drops in between everybody else, and he scores.
I didn't do anything wrong. Didn't do anything. There's a swing and a foul back, and the count's now 1-1.
Go ahead.
Well, I'd say he also got suspended a couple times for taking steroids, too, which he denied. But count's 1-1 here to Charlie Simpson.
Now I cheer for that man because he is the minority, hopefully soon majority owner, along with his partner, of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. That is true. It's funny how quickly things can change on how you feel about a person when it comes to sports, especially when it comes to sports. Here's the 1-2 pitch from Bear to Simpson. So we're going to foul back, and the count remains at 1-2.
In Rodriguez's case, when I was probably 15, ripped my heart out in the playoffs in 2009 after he hit a game-tying home run off of Joe Nathan in game 1 or 2 of the ALDS. And the Yankees, of course, go on to win that game because the Twins lost every single playoff game imaginable from 2004 to 2023. But on top of that, as Simpson swings and misses for out number 2, so you can go from somebody ripping out your heart to being essentially your only hope, because, boy, if he and Mark Lore are not the owners of the Timberwolves, the majority owners of the Timberwolves within the next year, I am very, very fearful of what will happen to that franchise.
Here is George Staley. He was 1 for 2. Post State now their final out here in game number 1 of this doubleheader. That's taken for a strike. He does have one of the 2 hits for Post State's here in game number 1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one will miss low, and the count's now 1-1. I got no response into all that. I obviously you are a Minnesota sports fan, and I am not. But I think you probably said it as eloquently as anybody could say on the air about being a Timberwolves fan. There's a swing and a miss. Counts now 1-2. Both runners will take off with a pitch in the dirt. So now it's second and third with 2 outs, and a base hit can score 2 runs here for Post State. Even a wild pitch can get the job done and get that run in. But the Eights are also down to their final strike, and Braylon Barron's looking to get the complete game 6-inning shutout. 1-2 pitch to Staley. Good take as that one bounces in, blocked up, and a good block there from Schlimgen makes it 2-2.
Yeah, very rarely are you going to get a passed ball with Sully Schlimgen back there. So, Staley's got to put the bat on the ball here and hopefully find a gap somewhere to extend this baseball game.
2-2 pitch. There's a fly ball down the right field line, but that will be fouled out of play. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Would have scored both those runs, and off with contact. Dawson Getz will most likely score on any base hit from Staley. That gets through the infield. Here's the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss. So that's a strikeout, and that's the ball game. 10-0 win for the Renner Royals here in game number 1. We'll return in 2 minutes to wrap up game 1. After this, here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back. The sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebine Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up all online. New or used, shop for it all online anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
As we welcome you back here, game 1 is in the books as Post State will drop it 10-0 to the Renner Royals on the American Family Insurance and Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. John Wickler alongside Blake Dean. And Blake, not the first game that Post State was hoping to have, but this is a team that is going to have to get the at-bats and get more at-bats and feel more comfortable at the plate. And obviously, Renner is a very strong team. They return a lot of guys. They had a strong spring. They've had a strong summer last year. They're a team that's got all the veterans ready to go to start the season, where Post State has got to be able to take their growing pains right now with what happened in this game, which they just lost to a good team, to a really good team in game 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point, Renner is a team that is a lot older than this Post State team, quite frankly. And I think you saw that just on the field. You see the guys that have been there before, have had the experience playing, and it really showed up on the field and, showed up in the box score as well, as it was a 10-0 win for the Royals through 6. And you're right to the point that the Eights have to kind of take their lumps a little bit. Got to go through the challenges and the ups and downs of playing against a team like Renner, because in reality this is a young Post State team that really hasn't faced a whole lot of velo or stuff that Braylon Bear had to throw at them today. And it's kind of a trial by fire for a lot of these younger guys that they're seeing this velo, they're seeing this movement that they haven't seen before, and the results will come, I think, as the season progresses. But boy, when you're seeing it right now, it looks really, really tough to hit right now, especially early in the season.
The final line score, the Renner Royals get 10 runs on 11 hits, 1 error, and they left 5 men on base. Pierre had no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and 4 men left on base. Braylon Bear with 6 shutout innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts, and 74 pitches. Cooper Twilliger will take the loss, 4 innings, giving up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 earned, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Trevor Rounds with those final 2 innings, giving up 4 hits, 5 runs, 3 walks, and a strikeout. As that was the time of the ball game was 1 hour and 43 minutes. Renner is now 7-1 on the season and is 3-0 in South Dakota games. Post 8 at 0-3, also now 0-3 in South Dakota games. Game 2 will be on the way here in just a little bit. We will send things back to the station. We will end the YouTube broadcast here on KCCR Sports and come back with the Game 2 broadcast here later on in just a little while, as we're looking at maybe somewhere around 7:10, 7:15 getting started for game number 2 of our doubleheader here today between Pierre and Renner here at Hyde Stadium. So we'll send things back. We'll hear from News Director Zach Nelson of his 5 o'clock news report here in the 6 o'clock hour. We'll hear that in just a little bit, but we will return and get you set for game number 2 here in just a little bit. So we'll end the broadcast on YouTube at KCCR Sports. We'll send it back to the station. 10-0 win for Renner in game number 1.